Afternoon, everybody. I just watched this really disturbing video in the sense that we already have a very corrupt and extremely questionable system of voting in this country. It should be one person, one vote. You should have to present identification. Absentee ballots should be dealt with in the manner they used to be, where you went and applied weeks or months beforehand with said identification to stop fraud there as well. We don't have that. Now, what I saw was even more wild today. DC in itself, as a state, the capital, if you will, is problematic. As number one, that is where the centralized power structure is supposedly making decisions and passing laws. But what I saw today in this clip, and I'll probably play it later on, was something much more alarming. Because one of the things that you'll notice about DC almost right away is that on the license plate, it says no taxation, no representation. See, you pay taxes in DC, but since you don't live in a state, you're not in Maryland, you're not in Virginia, you're not really represented in the way the rest of the country is. It's also a starkly gun-restricted area, okay? Now, if you were to make DC a state, or, there's talks of Puerto Rico, there's talks of breaking up other states for electoral votes, that's one thing. That's an issue to be dealt with for sure. But what I saw was even crazier. So the proposal essentially wasn't even for the entire DC city. What was it for? Well, it was for this sliver of land that basically constituted the White House, the Capitol, and the mall area. So some monuments, and then through into the White House, to the point where the question is, who are the residents? Well, the only residents may actually be the president and his family. And as this line of questioning went on, this guy goes, so basically what you're telling me is that the president and his family potentially could get 3 electoral votes. What? How is that? How did I just see that for the first time today? Not so long ago, this morning when I was going over and checking into news. Has anybody else seen this clip? It's absolutely astounding. And this guy in his little mask sitting there, being grilled by somebody on Zoom is just like, yes, well, that certainly does have the potential to be the case. 77 watching, 16 thumbs up, windy out here. Man, that's rough. That must have just happened. Tree down. Seeing a bunch of the garbage cans down. It's rough here. Things are real here in Iowa. We'll try to help these folks out. I'd want a little help. Oh, so seeing as right now you got a zombie in office, they're trying to validate schemes like that. Think about that. That's like a huge deal. You're just going to give 3 electoral votes to whoever's in the White House, basically? It's insane. That's insane. But they'll make it less of a big deal if, the DC city area itself becomes one, or Puerto Rico becomes one, or they break up California, or they do so in New York as well. And again, how wild is it, especially when we're talking about a zombie president who is literally, a shadow of a human being, saying things like, I don't know if there's going to be a Republican Party in 4 years. How scary is that? continue to see this like weird pseudo military push. So, I also want to kind of break down how both sides have been used not only to pit us against each other, but to gradually progress this globalist agenda that continues to this day. You see, when you have the quote unquote left, right, you have things like climate change, carbon taxes, etc. That's always been an issue. Global warming, those type of initiatives. And then more traditionally, on the right side, it's we got to get them terrorists for America. For America, we got to get them terrorists. So on one end, you have this military-industrial complex being pushed by the right, the Republicans, saying, freedom, we need freedom, freedom and free, and going there. And then you have the left saying, no, it's bigger than freedom. It's about the earth. None of us can be here without some kind of a crazy climate tax, without rolling lockdowns, right? By the way, gorgeous day here in my gorgeous little neighborhood. You know what I'm going to do? Just to kind of put it in everybody's face that wants to lock me down, not let me be free. I'm going to go to a movie on the 31st. I'm going to go watch that monster movie, that pure trash, and just kind of sit down and remember what it was like in 2019 everywhere. Go check out an actual box office, smash, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be fun. I like the King Kong one for sure. So King Kong versus Godzilla, let's go. You see, guys, you got to have those moments because we are dealing with very, very dark times. And like I said, when you talk about the right, they were all about the restrictions over here. They were all about the body scanners, right? They're all about the Patriot Act. They're all about Homeland Security, which is now being gutted, by the way. So by doing that, you set up this infrastructure, right? And now it gets turned on them. Same thing with the soldiers that are overseas. Now they want to take a look at all these different soldiers' political views and then purge them. That's pretty insane. That's not something we've ever done in this country. Well, that's because we're moving beyond the need for those soldiers to be in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and in the majority of the Middle East, because we have that with drone and robot cover. Because automation has come in. That's the truth of the matter. And that's why they wanted to fund the police here and bring the DARPA robots in and the automation in. They don't want human beings policing human beings because they don't want prosecution to be logical or to be dealt with any kind of empathy. You understand? Human beings have empathy. Robots do not have empathy. Robots are programmed to do things. They do tasks they are programmed to do. And our current ones are able to literally send, Stinger missiles from just about anywhere in the sky, anywhere they want. And currently we got, again, these dogs developed years and years and years ago. We're just seeing bits and pieces of this from Boston Dynamics and MIT now, but literally developed decades ago. They're just getting to the point now where you can roll them out in a process where they can be self-reliant, they can change out their own batteries, and basically be on this roving patrol. And if your vote doesn't count, if everything is online or mail-in ballots, and there's no accountability, and there's no polls, and there's variant 674 out there, and people are in fear and demanding vaccine passports for you to enter buildings. Well, folks, that's the push they need for this New World Order agenda. That's what this 51st state of deception and a total dictatorship really is. It's repackaged globalist garbage. That's what the Great Reset is. That's what all of it's become. And I got to tell you, I didn't want to believe in the New World Order. Did you? But you know what? It's so weird. I didn't have my chat on, so I haven't been seeing any of those. But when I was younger, I'll never forget, man. You know, on my mother's side, big Italian family. You got to remember, born in '79. People were still kind of religious. You know, that's fallen by the wayside. Now, Satanism is totally and completely glorified, as I went over with Jay Dyer last night. Going over not only the just ridiculous Lil Nas X video and the mischief sneaker campaign, etc., but the history of occultism and Satanism in Hollywood, as well as serial killers and their connections to elite people within government. You know, we talked about a lot of it, right? So again, when I was a kid and I'm sitting in church and I'm hearing about a New World Order and the mark of the beast and the chipset, I think it's all garbage. By the time I'm like, 11, 12 years old, and I'd read Revelations and whatever, but you fade away from that sort of thing. And I'm certainly not a religious guy now. I got a lot of people in my comments section telling me I need to see this movie or that movie. Guys, I'm not brand new. I've seen Zeitgeist, obviously, and I've seen the theory that Jesus never, the Son, and all these different things. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not telling you that I believe it. I'll tell you what I do believe in. The New World Order is real. The agenda is real. Globalism is real. A transhumanist push is real. Medical martial law is upon us. We are being gaslit by a media that has none of our interests at heart other than to feed us lies and celebritard culture. That's the reality. That's the real deal. And again, I don't want to persecute. Again, I talked about how I was going to go see a movie. I don't want to persecute you for daring to look at entertainment or pop culture, etc. But you got to get out there. Now's the time. I mean, there is no other time because it's all here. It's all now. Think about again how wild that is. That they want to give basically the president and his family 3 electoral votes. This is nuts. We haven't even gotten to the court packing yet, which was a huge issue prior to the election. And one that an agenda that's on the table. Just like taxing you by the mile. Oh, and again, you're already paying them the gas tax. No, they're not satisfied. Don't you get it? They're not satisfied with that, a gas tax. Listen, guys, it's not by coincidence that gas went up $1+ a gallon. It's not a coincidence. The drugs that you need, because, whether it be, let's not even get into any of the reason you need those drugs. But how much have they gone up? Have they doubled? Have they tripled in the last few months? All while you're being gaslit that Joe Biden, Zombie Joe, is a good moral man. He's a good moral man. I guess he didn't help cover up the Pakistani role in 9/11 that I exposed over a decade ago. I guess he wasn't in league with the Operation Timber Sycamore crowd that went into Syria to destabilize it. I guess he wasn't the guy on the podium that just said we would not be pulling out of Afghanistan by May like promised, and gave no date, and just the same rhetoric we've heard for almost 20 years. And a lot less rhetoric than, Joey B, back when he wasn't a zombie, was saying all the way back in 2007 during the 2008 run. So yeah, that's the reality of the situation, guys. I want to encourage everybody to thumbs the video up, subscribe, share. Remember to Rockfin. We're going to be doing videos, simulcasting at Rockfin and at YouTube. When things get spicy, we move over to Rockfin only. There is an exclusive for all your paying subscribers, by the way. I want to let everybody know about that. All you paying subscribers right now, there's an almost 2-hour interview exclusive from last week with Grimerica, and that's only at the Rockfin. So a lot of great stuff there. I want to thank you guys for all your support, and I will see you on the flip side. Let's get those thumbs up.